What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Chris Curtis' response to Sean Strickland's comments. The bromance between Chris Curtis and Sean Strickland appears to be no more. On Thursday, Strickland took to social media with a screenshot showing that Curtis has him blocked, much to the surprise of fans. Along with the screenshot, Strickland wrote, "Dog, on Twitter? Really? LMAO?" When a member of the MMA community asked what happened to cause the rift between the two friends, who at one point co-hosted a podcast together, Strickland replied writing, "Weakness is cancer, man. Literally, it spreads through the gym like a virus. It affects everyone. It can be pretty hard. Probably too militant, but Kurt wanted to drill during sparring. And I said, no, do it on your own time. And he lost it. Very Kurt, we miss you, LOL. Curtis responded to Strickland's comments with a post of his own, explaining that while he wants to see Strickland get his black belt in the future, he feels as though he has to keep the former champ at arm's length. In response, he wrote, "For those wondering, I believe there's a certain amount of respect that you give to those who support you. When that respect is not reciprocated, it doesn't matter who it is. Those people can no longer be involved in your inner circle. It's that simple. Life goes on, guys." Despite the rift between the two, it sounds as though the pair will continue to train together, with Strickland calling the situation awkward, and Curtis making it clear that he doesn't want to fight his teammate. Next up, let's take a look at Renato Moicano and Gilbert Burns predicts Paddy Pimblett fight. Ahead of Saturday's scrap between Paddy Pimblett and King Green, it's no secret that the baddie and Renato Moicano have had their sights set on one another for quite some time. Despite the bad blood between the two, Moicano recently spoke with Gilbert Burns on his Show Me the Money podcast, where he spoke about the fight, with Moicano predicting that Pimblett will likely get the job done.
Bro,
how crazy is that?
This fight is crazy. I like this fight.
How crazy is that? Man, that's why I pay UFC to watch ESPN
like
Plus. I really think that's a very fun matchup.
Does Bobby have the power?
He will. He's gonna do
outside of the Grant Dawson knockout. Does Bobby have the power to just put Paddy out cold?
He does have power.
But I don't know.
But if freaking Paddy hurt him and gets to a good position, he's a rep. That's why I'm picking Paddy.
As Moicano went on to explain, he believes that Pimblett likely gets the win thanks to his power and the momentum of fighting in front of a hometown crowd. For Pimblett's part, he recently explained in an interview with New York Post Sports that his plan is to beat Green, before then calling out Moicano as part of a 5-step plan to compete for the title.
Well, obviously, if I fight like Bobby Green, then I fight Moicano. Moicano's ranked 10 at the minute, but then he's fighting Saint Denis, isn't he? So we could could win or lose, and could end up going up or going down. But I'd love Moicano, and then Dariush would be perfect. Let's see, like rank 7, rank 8.
Yeah, he's higher.
And then someone in the top 5. Know what I mean?
Yep.
And then obviously go for the belt if possible.
With the stakes at an all-time high for Pimblett and Green, it'll be interesting to see how things play out. Next up, let's take a look at Dana White reveals plans for winner of Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes. While fans have not been happy with Dana White and the UFC for not booking a title unification bout between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall, White confirmed on Thursday that the winner of this weekend's Aspinall-Blaydes fight will be first up for the winner of the Jones-Miocic fight. When asked about the heavyweight title picture at the Fight Week press conference on Thursday, White confirmed the winner of Saturday's interim title fight will be competing in a title unification fight for their next bout.
You know, this is an interim heavyweight title fight. Can you confirm the plan is the winner of Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blaydes fights the winner of Jon Jones, Stipe Miocic?
Absolutely.
Of course, there's been plenty of talk of both Jones and Miocic retiring after their upcoming fight. However, neither fighter has declared that they will retire after the bout. In response to White's comment, one fan wrote, "Dana looking downwards immediately after he says absolutely. He knows Jones is going to retire. He just gave this answer to avoid difficult questions." Another weighed in, writing, "I could almost swear Jon Jones won't fight Aspinall. He'll vacate after beating Stipe." One member of the MMA community shared a prediction for the heavyweight division, writing, "Tom could literally sit out if he wanted to. What are they going to do? You can't strip the interim title unless the interim champ refuses to fight the champion. 3 options. Tom fights Jones, Jones is stripped, and Tom is champ. Make an interim champ." Another questioned why the UFC didn't book a title unification fight in the first place, writing, "It's almost like the person who has the interim title is supposed to fight for the undisputed belt in their very next match. Strange." So far, there hasn't been any official news from the UFC regarding a date for the Jones-Miocic fight, meaning the winner of Saturday's fight may have to wait for some time before a title unification fight is booked. Next, let's take a look at Max Holloway will beat Ilia Topuria, according to Alexander Volkanovski. With both Max Holloway and Ilia Topuria teasing big news, it seems to be only a matter of time before a fight between the two is finalized. In the meantime, the MMA community has been left to debate how the potential fight will play out, with some fans of the mindset that Holloway's pace and pressure will give the champ problems, and others of the mindset that El Matador could be the fighter to crack Holloway's legendary chin. During a recent interview with the Mac Life, Alexander Volkanovski weighed in on the bout, predicting that Holloway will get the job done when the two collide inside the octagon.
Yeah, man. Like, I just think, again, both great fighters, but, Max, he's proven himself time and time again. That chin, you know what I mean? Like, Ilia, he's got, obviously some power in his hands, and and he can. He's obviously, his only chance of winning would be to catch him, I believe, and that's no disrespect, but Max proven himself, right? But we know he's got that crazy granite chin. So if your biggest bet is trying to take that chin out, good luck. I've tried many times. You know what I mean? It's bloody, and so have many other big punches.
Prior to his comments this week, Volkanovski had begged Topuria not to fight Holloway for a #1 contender spot last summer, confident that if the two fought, Holloway would dispatch of the streaking contender. Now, despite Topuria sitting as the champion, Volkanovski clearly still remains confident that Holloway will get the win. Next, let's take a look at UFC updates. Ahead of UFC 304 this weekend, let's take a look at today's UFC fight updates, starting with a change to the UFC Vegas 95 card on August 10th, with Danny Barlow set to fight Nikolai Veretennikov after Uros Medic was forced off the card. Barlow will be entering the bout after back-to-back victories on Dana White's Contender Series last year and UFC 298 early this year, while on the flip side, Veretennikov will be looking to make his UFC debut amid a 3-fight win streak on the regional scene. In addition, Neil Magny is also reportedly set to fight Michael Morales in a welterweight bout that will see Magny look to build on a win over Mike Mallet at UFC 297, while on the flip side, Morales will look to extend his unbeaten record, which has seen him win 4 straight fights since his Dana White's Contender Series win in 2021. Next, let's take a look at Manel Kape was set up by Muhammad Mokaev in ALTERCATION. Leading up to their scheduled fight this weekend, Muhammad Mokaev and Manel Kape were involved in an altercation on Thursday that nearly spiraled out of control. According to Kape and his coach, Eric Nixick, Mokaev asked Kape to take a photo together before he and his camp then started the scuffle out of nowhere. This, of course, isn't the first time the pair have come to blows, with the two allegedly getting into a brawl at the UFC PI several months back. After their altercation on Thursday, Kape took to Instagram, posting a photo of Mokaev with a cut over his eye, along with a caption that read, "The deserter's mark. You will dream of me every time you look in the mirror. Falsehood, scrotum, they are in your vein, in your blood, in your DNA. Saturday you going to sleep. The photo shows a cut over Mokaev's eye. However, in a photo the undefeated flyweight posted to his Instagram story on Thursday, no cut can be seen, leading fans to speculate that the photo Kape posted of Mokaev was after their alleged scuffle at the UFC PI. In his photo on Thursday, Mokaev wrote in Russian, "This is how it happens in life. They didn't teach you how to fight." Kape also posted a message regarding the scuffle, calling out Mokaev for pretending to want a photo, writing in part, "What kind of Muslim are you? You gave me salam, asked to take a picture, and then tried to punch me in the betrayal. I can see now you are not a child of the Dagestan, because there are created men. You are just a poor bastard raised on a low income in Manchester, without honor and principles." Fortunately, it sounds like neither fighter was injured in the altercation, and their fight on Saturday will proceed as planned. Next up, let's take a look at Mike Perry reflects on Conor McGregor's situation. After his loss to Jake Paul this past weekend, Mike Perry was on the receiving end of some criticism from Conor McGregor, who took shots at the BKFC star on social media. As a part owner in the company, McGregor claimed he was firing Perry from the BKFC, telling Platinum to go compete in boxing. Perry opened up on the situation this week during an appearance on Jake Paul's BS with Jake Paul podcast.
I want to know, is this Conor McGregor like BKFC thing real, or like what's going on with that whole situation? What's the update?
I don't think he I think it's just, he does that. He tweets and he gets people to attach to something, and whatever he says, or he knows that we had that moment that night in history and it was what people were talking about. So he's like, let me say something about it and talk shit about it.
As Perry went on to explain, everyone wants to see him return to the BKFC, with the UFC veteran offering Paul the opportunity to compete under the BKFC banner. As Paul explained, in addition to being down to fight in MMA, he would also be down to compete in BKFC, or Perry's new dirty boxing promotion. With Perry seemingly still under contract with the BKFC, despite McGregor's claim, once he heals up, he's likely to be back in action sooner rather than later. Leon Edwards gets called out for cheating after an MMA analyst did a breakdown on Leon's fight with Kamaru Usman. In a video posted on Instagram, the analyst shows that Leon Edwards committed 8 fouls on Usman during their fight, with only 1 point taken. Here's what the analyst had to say.
I'm worried for Belal Muhammad this Saturday because the last time Leon Edwards fought in the UK, he cheated his way to a victory. Round number 1, Usman's in on a takedown. It's a close round, could steal it with a takedown, but Leon's fingers are inside the glove and he ends up getting off from the takedown. Herb Dean calls him out on it, but nothing was done. Round number 2, Edwards gonna look for a leg kick, but finds the nuts. Round 3, Leon's getting up from the takedown, grabs the fence there, but nothing is done. Immediately after that, Usman goes for another takedown, another fence grab. Herb rightfully takes a point after the 4th foul committed. Later in the round, there's another nut shot. They gotta stop the fight again. Pretty flush to me. We go to round number 4. What else could he do? Throw a little eye poke in there. Final round, this fight is super close. Edwards trying to get up from the takedown, goes ahead and grabs the cage again. And about 30 seconds later, defending takedowns once again, what does he do? Throw the fingers inside the glove. 8 fouls committed, 1 point taken, and Leon Edwards goes home with the belt once again. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, ladies and gentlemen.
Top comments. Is he just turning himself into Jamal Hill? Fans can be so delusional. He's not that big. Dude is walking around at 6'4", 230 pounds. That's big where I come from. Conor buying his house would be funny as hell. Pound for pound ranking doesn't mean anything. It's dumb to even speculate.